One thing that separates man from animal is the ability to tell an amazing story. Humans have the innate ability, and maybe even a responsibility, to share the inner depths of their imagination and experiences. From stories, we gather life lessons, entertainment, and inspiration. Telling a story is no easy feat, however. There are two fundamental structures in storytelling: rules that exist to be followed and rules that exist to be broken. When these two structures are balanced properly, a story comes into existence that can change the world. Storytelling is about seeking a story as much as it is about sharing that story. Therefore, actors, artists, authors, musicians, directors, and singers are all examples of storytellers. Anyone can tell a story. Very few people have been able to tell a great story that gets passed down for generations. Even fewer people have been given the ability to make a direct and large impact on pop culture in the past century. Here, we're going to cover just about 5 people who have been able to do so. Our first talented, legendary storyteller in comic books is, of course, Stan Lee. Stan Lee and his Marvel characters. He used the Marvel method, which meant he would supply the artist with the plot summary, the artist would create the images, and then the writer would then add captions and dialogue to the images. Stan Lee was an expert at dialogue, and he then created some of the most memorable characters to date. His best and most recognizable, maybe debatable, is of course Spider-Man. Our next comic book artist storyteller is going to be Jerry Siegel. Famous, of course, for Superman. Detective Comics, or DC Comics, needed a superhero. Superman was created to be that hero. Superman connected to real-life problems that everyday people had, then solved them through fantasy. The American people connected with this form of escapism that meant they could do anything if Superman could do it. Our next comic book storyteller is going to be Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman told the story of Sandman, a creature from ancient mythology that sprinkles sand on children's eyes to get them to dream. Neil's storytelling revived a character that almost was long forgotten and brought it to the forefront of American pop culture. Let's talk about some more storytellers. I've got 2 more to talk about. And this category is a little bit different. This is sci-fi or science fiction. The first one, the legendary man himself, the director of all directors, some may say, that's George Lucas. George Lucas is famous for so many things, but primarily Star Wars. He once said storytelling is about 2 things, character and plot, a rule that is clear to see he stuck with while directing in movies. His characters are fully developed and realistic, and the plot moves at an easy pace to follow. His movies have been around for over 50 years. Generations upon generations will be hearing his story for years to come. And the final person we want to talk about, a master storyteller, Tolkien. JRR Tolkien, well known for Lord of the Rings. Tolkien is known for his world building in Lord of the Rings and his other novels. His storytelling builds a complex world that readers can escape to know and to what to expect. His mastery of fantasy is what solidifies him as one of the most influential storytellers of this century. So there you have it, all legendary in their own mind, in their own way. And there's pretty cool stuff to listen to and learn. I appreciate you watching. Take care.